this is why Hollywood went on strike.
Is new technology the end of freedom? It's called Neuralink. So have you heard about that?
I have heard about it, yeah.
Which is this chip that he wants to implant in your brain. And it's going to, what he wants to do is be able to heal people who have like a paralyzed arm or legs and can't walk. And so it heals them from that. Even healing them from other diseases, because it you know, you can like hack it or hack your body, do those things. But also he's thinking of making humans more work efficient, because what he's saying is we can also, it's going to be make our brains think, get less tired and be able to work harder and harder and harder.
That concerns me.
That does.
Because the Bible talks about having a rest. Even God rested. He worked for 6 days, created everything. Then on the 7th day, he rested. So humans aren't meant to be go, 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 go. You get natural burnout. Your body naturally gets tired, and therefore your body then needs rest. So to have an artificial something put in you to force your body to do more than it was created to do,
okay,
that's for me. A lot of AI technology concerns me. I think AI technology in the right hands can be really useful tool. AI technology in the wrong hands can be used for destruction and for control. And if what I've read about this Neuralink is right, is basically the idea is that your thoughts will then be able to control electronic equipment on your phone and your computer, and you'd be able to think about something. It even says about telepathy here. Think about something and then it happens. But my concern is, what if they switch it the other way? What if whoever's got control of the technology hacks into that technology, hacks into your phone, hacks into your computer, and then controls your mind the other way around?
Exactly. No, that's very good, and that is where the fear of Neuralink is. Mm-hmm. It's got cool things. I do think it's cool if you could solve some problems. That's great, you know. But yeah, it's what is the cost of it, and where
how
can
will it be monitored?
To?
Where are the rules? Where are the regulations of what people can and can't do with this technology?
Yeah,
excuse me.
It is. Well, that's where things get created, right? The new rules have to be put down. Like internet, you had, you know, bad videos that shouldn't be on the internet, and they had to somehow bring, and they couldn't even put rules on some of that. You can't put rules on things that can't have rules added. And that is scary, because if you have a chip in your head that's got control of your whole body, it's not like, oh, they hacked my phone. It's they hack my head, they hack my body. You know, I can't walk, I can't see. That is scary. That is really scary.
What I also don't understand, sorry, just butt in, is like, okay, so your thoughts come into your head, and we've kind of had this conversation before. You can't control what comes in your head, but you can control what you do with them. But when a thought comes into your head, there's a decision process to be made. You think about something, then you think, am I going to act on this or am I not? So that's a decision process. But how does this technology work? If a thought goes in your head, does it jump on that thought?
I did not think about that.
And then suddenly you're doing something that you've just thought about, and then all of a sudden you're like running or whatever?
How do you know? That's really weird. Whoa.
How does it know what thoughts to go ahead and act out?
That's true. Like, you could even be, wow, that could change your whole personality, right?
Literally. You could say something that really annoyed me, and in my head I might think, oh, I could slap Thomas right now. Next thing I know, I'm slapping you. I'm like, whoa, sorry, man.
Yeah, but not even that. But what if, we're Christians? What if I could hack into your brain that you believe in another religion?
That's interesting.
And you believe that.
Can it change beliefs? Or you can convert people to become Christian.
Yeah, but then are you converting? Like, what is going on there? Because, whoa, this is
mind blown.
Okay, so does that? Yeah, but that's where, are you converted because your brain believes it, or because your soul and your spirit believe? Like, what is going on?
It gets complicated, doesn't it?
That's really weird.
There's a lot to think about. Don't think about it, because it'll come out on the computer.
So then, is that the end of free will? Is AI, well, not AI? Well, yes, AI, but also is the Neuralink, is new technology the end of freedom, or is it the start of a new freedom? That's where it could be.
The thing with me as well is, obviously they're going to try and make this a good thing. If they're trying to sell anything, if you put anything out there, they're going to show the benefits and the goods. And I can understand that if someone has got a lack of mobility, to be able to put that technology in, they're going to have that movement. That's great. But what concerns me is the devil comes as an angel of light. And whatever the devil uses human agents on this earth for his will to be done. Like, God has got a plan and a purpose for all of us, but the devil's got an agenda too. The devil doesn't want Jesus to have the victory at the end of the day, and he wants as many of us to go into hell with him as possible. So he will use human agents who aren't Christians, who do maybe have evil in their heart, who have got
or
a
even
hard
have
heart.
good though, right?
Well, yeah, it's so true. He can use
Even have good.
they might have good intentions.
A lot of new
but
age
the technology
beliefs.
can be used to, like I say, I'm worried that it's going to be able to control people.
Because I believe Elon Musk is, I don't know, it looks like he's doing it for good. He seems to be a very nice guy who just wants to help people out. Now, there could be the conspiracy that he is a secret agent trying to take over. Or another thing is that when he sells it, like he did with PayPal, which he sold it, he sells Neuralink, or he passes away, who takes control
Exactly.
after that?
Are they going to have good intentions or
Yeah.
bad intentions for that technology?
Yeah, so that then goes into, because it all like ties in together. We got AI, we've got Neuralink, and then with the whole thing that's starting, which hasn't taken off yet, thank God, because I like this real life world.
The real world,
you know
yeah.
where we're going, right?
Yeah.
Is the
Metaverse.
metaverse or the online virtual world,
Mm-hmm.
where I don't know if you've checked the new Meta Quest. I think it's called Meta Quest 2 or something. It's the new virtual reality goggles. It's like, I tried it out because I was in a shop and I'd said, oh, let me see. I've never used them. I've used the PlayStation virtual reality and it was cool, but you could tell you in the fake world. But these ones are 4K.
Wow.
So it feels so real that, well, it didn't feel because it was like cartoony. It just gave me a trailer, not even a game, just a trailer. And it was like looking up and seeing enormous bridges, and it was so crazy to think, wow, this is crazy. But you felt like you were there. It was really bizarre when I took it off. Then the actual world for a few minutes bored me.
Wow.
Not really like it. Like it was like, it's not too cool.
Yeah.
And
that's I think concerning, because you're going to get confused what's the real world and what's not. And if you come out that, and we talked about dopamine before, how much dopamine must that have been feeding you while you had that in your head?
true,
And then you
yeah.
take that off and suddenly it's like, oh, life's not as good as in this virtual world.
what's happened to you? You like full on with the going deep questions.
Like I say, like with technology, whoever's hands it in, there's good and there's bad. Like, for example, during the lockdown, during COVID, obviously people weren't allowed out their houses. So technology was a good way of connecting people. They even had like churches in the metaverse where you could go and fellowship with people and stuff. That's good, but I think there needs to be a balance, like I say, not to overuse it, because then you're just going to get confused what's real life, what's in the metaverse. And is technology actually connecting people or disconnecting people? Because if you're just in this virtual reality set, you're not actually, you might be talking to real humans in the virtual world, but you're not face to face. God made Adam and Eve to have human connection, because it said God made Eve because it was not good for man to be alone.
Yeah.
So yes, you can communicate in this virtual world. And yes, it's great to reach people around the world, literally, that you couldn't do, I don't know however many years ago. You wouldn't be able to speak to someone who's on the other side of the world. That's the good part of it.
Yeah.
But then you can go too far into, well, I'm just going to live in my virtual reality world and not talk to anyone around me.
Yeah, the thing is, when the internet started, it was, people were really like, this is going to be the end of the world. It's the worst thing that's ever come to humanity. Now, was it the worst thing in the world, but now we're too used to it that it's quite normal? Or was it just, okay, people overreacted? Are we going to overreact to AI? Or are we going to be so normalized that it's like, people were overreacting?
I think all this technological development is kind of leading to what the Bible talks about, the end times. Now, I'm not saying the chip that Elon Musk has got out is the mark of the beast. I'm not saying that at all, because we don't know. There's different discussions to be had about that, about what exactly the mark of the beast is, how do you know you're taking it, what it is, blah, blah, blah. But in Revelation, it does talk about the fact that if you don't take the mark of the beast, you won't be able to buy and sell. Now, a lot of people could have freaked out when the credit card come out and went, oh, maybe that's the credit card, maybe that's the mark of the beast. But we are so used to just using a credit card and not worrying about it. But that's a step towards it. And now this chip in the brain. Maybe you, and weren't there that Amazon Go shop that you didn't even need to pay cash or card? You could just walk in, and I think if you had a chip in you or something, you could just pick up the items and walk out again. Like, I just feel like this is all step by step leading towards what's to come in the end time.
Some people say the head of the snake, right? It is the financial system. And you can see that what they're trying to do is that they're trying to they're trying to do the Great Reset, you know, Agenda 2030 and all this, and trying to reset the world in a online, blockchain. So we can only buy with blockchain, but not even blockchain, just
What's
online.
blockchain?
You know, Bitcoin, all of that.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, like digital.
Yeah,
currencies.
digital,
Yeah, yeah.
but they want to create the plan is, and this is what people are saying, is that they're trying to create a new digital currency, which is controlled by the governments. And then when it's controlled by the governments, then they can do things like that because there's no cash. It's all on the digital currency. And do you imagine how much control they'll have over there? Because they could do things like, hey, you've been driving too much. You're causing too much CO2 in the world. You're not allowed to drive anymore. Take it away from you. Because they're doing things like that in China. In China,
Wow.
with the new technology, what they're doing is that you lose credit points for being even just close to someone who goes against the beliefs of the Chinese government.
Wow, gosh.
So you imagine if that happens here,
Yeah.
where you lose credit points. Imagine if like right now, you vote for Trump and they're like, or you like Trump and they say, oh, he likes Trump, you lose. I don't know, because they could say, hey, look, you get 200 digital currency points a month, and you're like, yeah, unless you're right wing, oh, take it off, or unless you use under this amount of CO2 or all these things, they can control a lot of things, and that's where it's really scary. And that's where it just feels like everything, like you said, it feels like we're aiming toward it, because with the whole Meta Quest, which was the new one that I saw, then has come out also the whole Apple Vision Pro, which, have you seen that, the Apple Vision
I
Pro?
haven't. Fill me in now. You mentioned it to me earlier, but I'm not very
there was something a
up on it.
while ago. Microsoft tried making it a long time ago, and it was the coolest thing ever. It was this VR headset where you're still in this world, and it adds on the. So you're talking about what's real and what's fake.
Yeah.
At least with the Meta Quest, well, no, even they had like cameras, but at least it was always, or you're on the virtual or you're off it. But these new ones is now like adding it on. So anyway, so Microsoft was making one a while ago, and I don't know what happened. They said about it. I don't know if it came out or anything. It didn't get famous at all. And then they've tried with other ones, Oculus Rift, all these different things. Meta Quest has added cameras to do the same thing. But Apple Vision, Apple's got its big name. Apple is just, it sells, right? And so the Apple Vision Pro came out, and yeah, we're going to see how that goes.
What's the idea of it? Just another virtual reality type thing?
It's a virtual reality, but it's having, okay, so it's like an iPhone on your face. Yeah, so you imagine, for example, you want to use an app, right? Let me take my tea down, because I want to explain. So you imagine you've got your app, right? You've got these on. You're sat down, right? And you've got like these apps, any app you have on your phone, like a game, a Safari, Google Chrome, your camera, everything. And you just do this. So you have your headset on, and you only use it by using these two fingers. So it's like, I don't know, you do like down, you learn how to do it.
In the air like this?
Yeah, you just like this. So you'll be sat down like this. You'll be sat down.
You're going to look so
Like
weird
that.
to other people who's not
So-
got a headset on. Like, what are you doing, man?
No, you would look weird. So what happens is that you're using your phone on your face. So your face. Okay, so your eye face. That's what they should have called it. But anyway.
You write better jokes than ChatGPT does.
Yeah. Okay.
That
Have
was
a humour.
sarcasm, by the way.
Does AI have a humour? That's a whole nother. No, but anyway, so you're using that. There are such cool things, I'm not going to lie. There's a thing where you can watch movies and you can make the screen as big as you want, and it feels like it's actually there. It's massive. You can change the surrounding you're in, so you can be sat in a cinema without being in a cinema. I think that's pretty cool. You imagine you're on an airplane, you're bored, you can make yourself in a new world. I think that's pretty cool. I do.
But you know what's also ironic is they tell you, we're taught as kids, don't sit too close to the screen because it will do your eyes in. Don't watch too much screen time. And then what do? Stick a screen literally right in front of your eyes. And they're going to be really bad for people's vision.
Maybe. I don't know.
and their health and their mental health as well. Like I say, people suffering with, I don't know, anxiety or depression or anything, and they want to escape. They're going to just escape into this fake world. And I worry people get stuck in it rather than dealing with their issues and their mental health.
Yeah.
They're just going to escape from it and end
Well,
up
I
in
think
this
the
world.
basis to that, the basis of what you're saying is mental health and all this, is because so reading a book, going for a run, talking with friends creates dopamine. Okay, it releases dopamine in your head, but so it releases a good amount, and so you get your high of dopamine and go back down. So you enjoy things like reading books, running, all these things. But when you use technologies like watching videos, social media, all these crazy things, playing games, it brings your dopamine to such a high that now your baseline of dopamine is on a higher level than even reading a book. So reading a book is boring. Going for a run is boring and hard and so everything becomes depressive because because dopamine is what makes you happy, really. Dopamine is what makes you feel, oh, I'm not, and so when you have a low baseline of dopamine, every little thing you do creates dopamine and makes you happy all day long. And so you're
going to be depressed in the real world, basically.
Yeah, so sleeping is fun. Playing, just running around is fun. Playing a board game is fun. Talking is fun. Literally sitting down and thinking is fun. Everything creates a dopamine that's just a bit higher than your baseline. But when your baseline, so all these things that I've just mentioned are here, but now your baseline is up here. So reading a book is boring. Talking with someone, boring. This, boring. Oh, but watching video, fun. But watching this, and that's where you're getting like depressed, like you even getting addictions into like porn and all this because it's so high and it goes higher and higher. And now your baseline is so high up that you're just stuck and it's really hard. And that's why they talk about dopamine detox, which is just, it's really painful. It's just letting go of everything. And just, it's why drugs work.
Because you're always chasing that high, aren't you? Always chasing that feeling that you got before, whether it's on the drugs or whether watching the video, whatever it is.
It goes back to the dopamine. You've put your dopamine right up. So when you're making drugs so easy, bam, it's high. And then you can never get low. So it's not just technologies, it's also drugs. But the thing is, everything's become so easy and everything's become so mass-produced. Even food. Food nowadays gives you dopamine. Sugar, it's a crazy dopamine thing. Chocolates gives dopamine, all these things. And again, it's okay to have it once in a while. It's okay. It's not going to keep it up. But when it's always like that, you're getting it so high up that you're stuck. And that's where all these things are going to happen. So when you've got a screen on your face, I'm not a scientist, but I feel like it's going to put the baseline even higher than what it is now. So if it's higher than what it is now, people are going to be more depressed. And if people are more depressed, unaliving yourself will be a bit easier.
What's also kind of coming to mind when we're talking about all this is the fact that they're trying to create a new reality, a new world. And the whole idea of a chip in your brain so that you can move your body and heal and all this kind of stuff. Are they trying to play God? Because they're trying to create a whole new world for us to live in. They're trying to do things to the body. They're trying to merge robots with humans in a way. And it's like, are they trying to just make new life and to be like God?
Yeah, I've heard of Christians talking about that, and they say it's the devil can't create, he can only just copy a worse version. That's it. So what is it? It's a worse version, because talking about these things, you've got, instead of real people, what they want to do is imagine a GTA where you have it on here, like a video game where it's like real life, but you can do anything you want. The people are not going to be real people, they're AI characters. So what are they like? They're like real people, but a worse version, devil, You can see when it's not a real, we're not creating something new, it's just a worse version.
Yeah.
Because you'd prefer a real person than an AI assistant,
Definitely.
right? Okay, worse version. You've got 4K, but it's still a worse version than real life. It's just a worse version. You've got feeling, because you're making like these, like for Call of Duty, these shooting games, these pads that you can feel when someone shoots you.
Wow.
You feel it, but it's just a worse version of feeling what it would, so if they do one for touching plants out it's going to be a worse version. All these things are worse versions. A world, the whole new world that they create is a worse version. It's like just a bit faker. And so, but the worst version is more addictive. It's like, why am I so addicted to this thing? Because you can just see, even those things, and that's why I love it. It proves that God is real and God loves us and God is so amazing. Because I don't know about you, but I've always gone to the mountain and I've always just said, it just feels great here.
Yeah,
Leaving your it feels great.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And I just know that it's like God God created the world so we can just
Enjoy it.
Really
Yeah,
enjoy it.
be at peace.
And what the devil's doing is taking away that and getting us addicted to his fake world and making us not be able to enjoy what is already there. So even like, I'm not going to lie, the story of Jesus then starts becoming a bit more like, because you've got all these Marvel movies, which again is cool. It's good. It's fun to watch and everything. But what I feel like is that we're having to do, we're having to make Christianity cooler because everything else is too cool, right? Even like things which I think is great, but The Chosen, what do we have to do? We have to put the whole music and make an amazing movie, and that's great. It's reaching people. But because I feel like the story preached or just spoken about is not good enough anymore.
It's not engaging, is it? Because they've got these other things that people's minds want to go to. And what concerns me is they're kind of aiming it at kids and elderly as well. Like I even read in the paper the other day that they're using robots in care homes. I'm like, the elderly don't want to be speaking to robots. They need that love and care from a human. And then there's young people who are going on, I think it is ChatGPT, that have got like a friend, an AI friend, rather than actual making friends. Is it Instagram? Tell us
has made like a fake. So you have Mr. Beast, one of the biggest YouTubers. They've made a new one. I forgot what his name is now. They've made a new character on Instagram. You can't do it in Europe yet, but you can in America, I've heard. Which is he's your assistant and he will answer you. And I think don't quote me on this, but I think he will send you videos and do even video calls and you're talking to Mr. Beast.
And he doesn't exist. It's just an AI character.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He looks exactly the same because he's allowed himself to do this 3D AI.
Yeah. That's another massive thing about AI technology. The kind of technologies that they're bringing out, and this is why Hollywood went on strike, is because they could make an actor look like them, speak like them, say like them. In politics, you could get a certain politician saying one thing when they didn't actually say it, all fake. And this is a massive scary thing, is the fake news coming out will look so real, you will not know what's fake and what isn't. And the other way round, like we've used or you've used on our Instagram, it's like you did it to try and make a video better quality because the quality of what we were using wasn't that great.
Yeah,
so you put it through
video enhancer.
Yeah, a video enhancer, and it kind of made it look a little AI-ish. And now you've got people not knowing if that's real or not. And it was a true interview; it was truth. But people were like, "Oh, I don't believe this."
It was a Shane Lynch video that because when you zoomed it into a real format, it just looked bad quality. So I put a AI video enhancer, and it made it better quality but more cartoonish, and so everyone in the comments, it got really viral, that video. Nikki was on it.
My voice was on it anyway, my face wasn't.
And so anyway, people started, there was loads of conspiracy theories saying that, it's fake. And yeah, it was just because of that. So yeah, exactly like you're saying.
So it's like AI, you're not going to know what's real and what's not, because things that are real, and if someone's trying to come out and say something that they shouldn't about truth, then they can just shut it down and make it look fake, and vice versa. Fake news is going to become looking so real. So, and that's the devil again, deception, like just not knowing what's true and what's not.
Yeah. Now I think we can see how, like, we have to. I think we need to know thy enemy. Yeah? But also let's use the weapons that are formed against us. Let's also use them to fight
for good,
fight.
And this is the thing, we've talked quite negatively. I mean, I'm quite concerned about all this technology and where it's leading. Good. But what are the good aspects?
That is good. I think it's great first. It's good to see the wrong side, right? All the bad that can happen, but not focus on it, not dwell on it. Now, okay, we've put walls around where the attacks could come from, right? We're protecting ourselves. Now we know where we can use that to our benefit. You know, a brick can be used to build a house, or it could be used to smash a window. Yeah, so it can be used for two things. And I think AI is the same. We can use it for good. And I like this Bible verse. It's a famous one, Mark 16:15. It says, he said, this is Jesus saying, he said to them, go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. So I think we're in the easiest time to preach the gospel, or at least to get it out to people. Like we said, I'm doing social media for Revelation TV, and thank God we're doing videos, and it's getting up to, we're reaching about at least like 20,000 people a month. That's a lot of people, at least. And it's preaching the gospel, and who knows how much more could happen when this all comes out, when again, it may be sad that people are on there, but God turns bad to good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think we can also just be excited for what's coming, for what we can do, right? Movies would have seemed like, oh, bad. Now we've got The Chosen. Now we've got Jesus Revolution. Christianity is growing, right? So I think there's going to be great things just coming through these things. And we're gonna fight in the good way. We're gonna use AI, which is what we're using now with videography. It's helping videos get better, get higher quality. We're being able to fix sound, like quality of audio, quality of video, edit quicker. And then there's more things that I know, like people who are working with set designing and stuff can use AI for other things, or even just like using it like ChatGPT to help me with this, help me with that. And I think it's going to be good. But yeah, it's just taking care of what's coming. I think it's also, you know what's funny? I always see it like this. Have you seen the Cars 3 movie?
No.
So, you know, Cars, have you seen? Yeah. So Lightning McQueen is always the best and whatever. And I remember because my siblings were watching it, and I was there. I went past it, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool. Okay, let's see." And what happens is that he's now become too old, right? And he's using his old technology, or normal, what he's used to, and he's not being able to get to the same speed that the new cars are driving in. And they're using new technologies, which it's funny. They're using like virtual sets to train to like race on the new cars. And in the end, Lightning McQueen just lets go and he trains up this like girl car, and he trains her up, and she ends up winning and being faster than he ever was. But he was able to help out. So I think also we can all work together. The older generation who don't understand this, they can help us learn how they did it, what are the right steps to follow, and then hey, they can tell the young generation, hey, you can use what your tools are to preach what we weren't able to do. Because if we're all going to preach the same way as the apostles preached, then it's not going to get any further. The apostles were only able to preach like to Europe.
It's true. They had to physically get on boats and donkeys and whatever and travel places. And I do also agree, like social media and all this kind of technology, because you read about taking it to all creation, but other versions of the Bible say of all nations. And you physically can online, like I said earlier, talk to someone in a completely different country in seconds even.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is definitely a good side of it. And I think with all this technology, it just needs to be a balance between, like I say, what you're using it for, what your intentions are, how much you're using it so you don't get too addicted and with that dopamine, and still be happy in the real world, because that's the big concern.
Yeah, and I think also, again, to know thy enemy, we need to also know, because something I've noticed is that people are scared of AI, but AI has been here longer than we've known. AI is just it's just artificial intelligence, and that's even just when we transcribe videos, when you're like, oh, what's this video saying? Transcribe it, and it comes up with all the words it's saying, like the captions on a YouTube video. That is AI. It's artificial intelligence. And those things are great. Those are helping us understand things. Your Google Translate, it's helping us understand things.
True.
Google Translate is AI. And so there's great things about it. Now, I think what's happening is there's like it's a new wave of AI which can be used bad. And we will notice, because I've always heard, and you see it, when darkness rises, light also shines brighter, right?
Yeah.
So it's so weird, because it's in these few last 100 years, there haven't been attacks on Christians as bad as now, but also we're having the biggest Christian media that's ever happened. Christian movies, Christian music has been played in NBA games and NFL games and all these things. Even like Christian podcasters, I forgot his name, but the one from like Logan Paul, it's going crazy. The Christian media is growing, and so people are hearing about Christianity more than ever.
Yeah.
And so there's a good wave, and so we got to be excited. There's great things coming out. So yeah, I just think it's good for everyone to do this, is look at all that, like just see it from a third point perspective, and it's look at what can hurt you from this and protect yourself, and then look at how you can use this to help others, right? And there's always, two ways with it.
Definitely, definitely. Well, AI is a big discussion, isn't it? Technology is a big
Really
discussion. There's pros and cons for everything. But we want to say, yeah, what do you think? If you can comment below, whatever platform you're watching on. It's ironic because this is on technology, isn't it?
Yeah.
We literally wouldn't be able to be speaking to anybody right now if technology
We're going
didn't
to
exist.
every nation.
Yeah, we are.
This is how it happens.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
You do it with all your programs.
Yeah.
You're reaching. You probably have heard. They've probably told you, right? Oh, I'm watching from here. I'm watching from here.
Yeah.
All nations. And
I love it when we do Facebook Lives and we get like people on there like, I'm watching from like Ireland and like wherever else, Wales and mainly the UK. But
Exactly.
Revelation is international and we are online. RevelationTV.com. You can see all our programs on there and we are literally reaching all nations.
People have said this Revelation TV is a church without walls.
Yeah.
And it's a church that just doesn't have walls. It goes out to every nation, right?
Yeah.
And so it's great. The amount of people who have said, this is a family. I don't know what I would do without Revelation TV. It's because we're showing the love of God through technology.
Exactly.
So it's great, yeah.
Amen.
Sorry for stopping your outro.
No, it's all right.
I just thought...
I don't know how to finish at the end. No, but the Bible tells us not to fear. It says in the Bible so many times, do not fear, do not be afraid. We know there's some challenges to come. The Bible talks about the end times. There's some uncomfortable, unsettling things going to happen. But we know that even though leaders of the world might be trying to control us, they might be trying to control technologies, we know that God controls us at the end. Well, controls the world. He has got control at the end of the day and he will have the victory.
And if he is for you, who can be against you?
Amen.
So yeah, thank you for joining What's Popping. Subscribe, comment below if you can. And leave a like, share anything you can, and we'll be back soon.
Yeah. See you next time.